Hope that you're good. Today we have a class for our lower back. So it's kind of a part of the yoga for the back series. So this is for your lower back. It's a really good one to use for when your lower back is sore. So if you've had a hard day sitting down, kind of being cramped in a bit of a still position, maybe you've been sitting in a less than ideal position, like you've been on a flight or in a car or something like that, where it's difficult to adjust. Also, any other reason that your lower back might be sore, but because you've been out walking on really hard surfaces and not wearing really great shoes or something like that. But yeah, just like with the upper back, there needs to be a balance of kind of easing the pain, so that's what this class is for. But then also to actually get rid of the pain so it doesn't come back, we need to start to strengthen it. So I'll make another class about that. But yeah, so this one is great to use for when you're actually in pain, when your lower back is just really quite tired. Brilliant. We'll start lying down and just becoming comfortable on our back. Just nuzzling yourself in. Check in with your lower back here. Quite often it feels really nice to bend your knees. And as you do, just lift the tailbone slightly, so then you place your lower back down. It's as supported by the floor as it can be. And the same with the head, just lifting the head up, tuck your chin in slightly. And that will just help with a bit of length throughout the whole spine. And then just settling in. Especially if you've had a busy kind of day mentally, let this be an opportunity to just relax, to release any muscle tension, and just help your body drop into that parasympathetic nervous system, the slower mode, the healing and resting states in the body and the mind. And then bringing your feet as wide as your mat. Bend your knees if they're not already. And start to sway the legs, going about halfway down to begin with. And keeping both of your shoulders grounded through the floor. And breathing. And then go a little bit further each time, just twisting through the lower back as well as giving a bit of a massage against the floor. So just aiming to increase a bit of blood flow, introduce a bit of movement, especially if the pain or ache or tiredness is kind of stems from stillness. You want to just gently get those lower vertebrae moving again. And obviously increased blood flow means better cell renewal, more oxygen flow, to release any kind of sense of tiredness, and just give you a bit more energy in that lower back. And then the next time your legs come all the way over towards the right, let them stay there. You've got the option here to lift your right foot and place it onto the left knee or thigh, just to weigh it down, lengthening through the front of that left leg. And then releasing that right foot. Bring your knees back up to center. And lift the tailbone slightly, tuck it under, and then resting your lower back down. Maybe do the same with your neck if you find that your chin is just poking up a little bit. That will just help to kind of elongate the whole spine, create a little bit of space in between those vertebrae. And letting your spine rest again. Letting your back just drop into the ground. And then let your legs drop all the way over towards the left side. And again, if you want to lift your left foot up and place it on your right thigh, just to weigh it down, you can. Again, this is also a really good one to kind of twist the thigh bones in the hip socket. That will again just help to release a bit of tension, create a bit of space. And when we release that tension and create space, there will be more room for us to move a bit freely. There's more room for the blood to flow through. So we're just kind of opening up rather than kind of closing in and tensing up. So all we're trying to do here today is just to encourage a bit of blood flow really, and to place the spine in a few different variations, a few different kind of positions or angles to just increase the blood flow, to get things moving, to counteract the stillness that has caused the ache or sense of tiredness. If you have been moving but you still feel tired in your lower back, so let's say maybe you've been out cycling or maybe you've been out walking, again your actual lower back can be quite still in those positions. So we're just trying to create kind of different movements. If you're only moving your legs forwards and backwards, it's really nice, just open it up to the side, and the same with your spine. If it's only bending backwards and forwards, just doing little twists and stuff to kind of, not surprise, but to just do something different, which will then evoke a different sensation and produce more blood flow into a different area of the body. Just kind of shake things up a little bit in a very gentle way. Release that left foot to the ground if it wasn't already. And then bring your legs back up to center. Now bringing your right knee in. Relax the shoulders. Again, maybe tuck the chin slightly, because everything is obviously connected. So if your neck feels a bit compressed, then there won't be as much length in your lower back either. So you want to keep the whole spine nice and long. Take a few breaths here. Great way to just calm the nervous system, to help you tune into that parasympathetic nervous system, as well as just calm the muscles down, releasing muscle tension. And then lengthen your left leg out if that feels okay. Be really mindful here there's no pinching in your lower back or any super strong sensations. Then bring your left arm up to the side as you guide your right knee out to the side. Try to keep both your sit bones, both your butt cheeks down onto the ground evenly. So don't drop your leg all the way out, just bring it as far out as you can stay balanced with. Just breathing here. You might find it more useful to have your hand inside, so you're actually almost lifting the leg up a little bit. Just making sure you're not rolling over more onto your right bum cheek, but staying nice and even. And then bringing your right leg back up. Give it a little squeeze in. And if you want, you can lift your nose up towards the knee. And then lower down. Placing the right foot down onto the ground. Just take a moment here. And then bringing your left leg into the chest. And again, just breathing to help the body drop into your parasympathetic nervous system, to help the body calm down. Physical and mental stress is very often interconnected, so it's stressful for the mind when the body is in pain. And when the mind is stressed, the body tends to tense up, causing that sense of tiredness or general ache all over. But it's pretty cool really, because we have this amazing power in our breath and with our mindset to calm us down, to really have some deep, profound effect on the body and on the mind. And once we kind of go in one direction, it snowballs from there. So once we get stressed, it snowballs and get worse and worse and worse, and more parts of the body gets affected. Whilst if we can just step out of it, engage with our breath and engage with this present moment, it snowballs in the other direction. So deep breath leads to so much more than just kind of improved oxygen intake. It really affects the whole mind, which affects the body, and the body affects the mind. It really just kind of spirals in a better direction that way. And then option to straighten your right leg out here again. Be really mindful of your lower back. Really spend a bit of time seeing how it feels. Breathing in and out. And then bring your right arm out to the side. And again, just drop your left leg out to the side without letting that right bum cheek come up. So you want to have even weight into both sides. You can even bring that left arm to the inside to help you kind of keep the knee from dropping out too far. And breathing here. Gently pushing down into that right bum cheek, engaging a bit through your core as well. Core stability is always a great one to support your lower back, so that we're not just kind of collapsing into the vertebrae and then they get a bit compressed, but rather having a strong muscular structure to help keep you upright as well. And then bringing your left knee in. Hold on to it again. Give a bit closer squeeze in. And if you want, you can lift your nose up to the knee. And then lower the head back down again, keeping that chin slightly tucked in. As you bring your right knee in. Just holding on to each leg and breathe. Letting any sensations flow through the body, letting them arise and then fall away. And then make sure you're holding on to each kneecap with your fingers kind of draped over the knees. Your fingers are pointing towards the toes. And as you inhale, you're going to bring your knees as far away from your body as your arms will allow, so straight forwards. And as you exhale, giving the knees gentle with a squeeze in, you might even lift that tailbone up And inhale, knees draw away. And exhale, you squeeze them in. Doing that a few more times, moving with the breath. And creating a bit of space in those lower vertebrae, as well as massaging them along or on the floor. And then next time you draw your legs in, start to separate them out to the side. And then bring them back towards each other, just drawing a couple of circles. And then change direction, go back the other way. Again, just a couple of laps will do. And then keeping your knees and your feet together, start by moving your legs to the right, around in a circle. Just 2 laps will do here as well. And then change direction, go back the way you came. And then roll over to one side. And slowly come up into a seated position. Again, we're just going to use a little bit of time to kind of restack the spine, relaxing the shoulders, a little tuck of your chin, and breathing in and out. And then make your way over into all fours. Spreading out through the fingers, drawing your shoulders back. Now we just want to create a bit of movement in our lower back. So lifting that tailbone up. Don't worry about moving your spine, moving your shoulders to your neck or anything else. And then tuck that tailbone under. And then lifting it up. And down. Doing that a few times. You're kind of doing a cat-cow, but just with your lower back. Depending on what you've been up to, this might feel like it's aggravating the spine a little bit, and you can just leave this then and focus on creating a nice and straight spine. And then become still. Keep your shoulders over your wrists here, so you're not moving in your shoulders. Just bring your hips over towards the right, and then towards the left. And then go side to side like that, keeping your shoulders completely still. So the movement is just kind of curving your spine. Awesome. And then becoming still. Rising up onto the knees. And again, just pointing your tailbone back and then tuck it under. It is both to increase a bit of movement, but also to make you more aware of the position of your pelvis in comparison to the position of your shoulders. If your hips are quite far behind you, which is quite relaxing, it's quite nice, but there is a lot of compression happening in your lower back because all your weight just goes into those vertebrae. Whilst when we can stack the spine on top of itself, generate that length and there's a bit more space for the spine to move. And then stepping your right foot forwards, trying to square the lower back out so that it's not open to the side. It's kind of square and parallel to the front of your mat. And then do the same thing here. If you need a little blanket underneath your knee, you can put that down. And just pointing your tailbone back, and then tuck it under, and then point it back, and then tuck it under. And if you feel like when you're tucking it under, there's a really strong stretch in the front of your left hip and thigh, then you are probably spending a lot of time with your tailbone pointing back. And you could definitely do with tucking it under a bit more and really trying to stretch out through that left hip. Do a couple more. And then swapping the legs over, right leg back, left leg forwards. And again, making sure we're not just opening up to the side, we're trying to keep a bit of integrity here. Moving your tailbone back and tuck it under. And if you feel that stretch running from the thigh into the hip, just know that you might want to spend a bit more time stretching through the front of your hips in class, or just really focusing on tucking that tailbone under every once in a while. Especially if you're sitting in a chair, it's easy to push your bum back as we lean forwards over the table or something like that. Just trying to think about stacking the spine as and when you can. And then bring your left leg back. And come into a seated position. You can inhale and lift our arms up high. Interlacing the spine, interlacing the fingers, and pressing your palms up. And really make sure that your tailbone is not pushing back, but you've got that nice straight spine. Your tailbone is drawing down into the ground. And then as you exhale, release your hands down. And then make your way to lie down on your back again. And then bring the soles of your feet together, bring your knees out wide. Tuck that tailbone under, trying to gently push the lower back down into the ground. And then soften slightly, still so you can feel that length in between the vertebrae. So there will be a little gap in between the floor and your spine. I'm trying to minimize, decrease that gap as much as you can. And then bringing your legs together, bring your feet a bit wider, and your knees just knock together in center. And staying here. Stay here for as long as you like. See if you can take just 10 more breaths, nice and calm. And then planting your palms together, spending a bit of time just honouring yourself and this decision to really look after yourself when your body needed it. I hope that your lower back feels better, a bit freer. You find a little bit more ease in your movement. Please let me know how you get on, if you do feel any better, if you have any questions in the comments below. Namaste.